I was 17 years old when my mother's protective nature transformed into a full-blown obsession. It started quietly. One evening after dinner, she sat me down with a forced, thin smile and announced she was installing a comprehensive family security suite on my smartphone. I watched in stunned silence as she configured the settings, granting herself total access to my real-time location, photo gallery, private text threads, and even my unsaved drafts. She claimed it was purely for my safety, but the moment she handed that device back, the air in the room felt different. It felt like an invisible tether had been cinched around my neck. Initially, I tried to ignore the suffocating sensation. I figured if I remained a model student, she would eventually grow bored and relax her grip. I was wrong. The surveillance only intensified. She began sending me messages in the middle of my conversations with friends, asking exactly who I was standing next to or why I hadn't moved from a specific coordinate in 20 minutes. She would reference jokes I had written in my notes app but never actually shared. Then she crossed the final line. She started impersonating me. When my friend Mark texted to ask about a weekend hike, she replied before I could even unlock the screen. Her response was filled with formal grammar and strange emojis that I would never use. Mark called me immediately, laughing, asking why I was suddenly talking like a corporate human resources department. The breaking point came when my history teacher pulled me aside. She looked incredibly uncomfortable and informed me that my mother had called the school board to report a disturbing message I had sent. It was a harmless, sarcastic joke about a pop quiz sent in a private group chat. My social life evaporated overnight. Friends stopped reaching out, fearing their private thoughts were being archived by my mother. I felt like a pariah in my own skin. That night, I logged into the app's web portal on my laptop and discovered the logs. She wasn't just checking in. She was monitoring me at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and 4 a.m. She was downloading my photos and forwarding my logs to her personal email. I decided to give her exactly what she wanted, something to find. I created a fake contact named Alex and staged a long, frantic conversation about a massive, secret bonfire party at an abandoned quarry 30 miles outside of town. I dropped a precise GPS pin for a desolate dirt track that led to absolutely nowhere. I wrote that the party started at exactly midnight and that it was the one thing I was finally keeping hidden from her. I left the phone on my nightstand and waited. At 1:45 a.m., I heard the telltale rumble of the garage door. My mother was gone, chasing a ghost. 2 hours later, my father's phone rang. It was the police. My mother had been detained for trespassing on private property and suspicious behavior in the middle of the woods. When they returned home at dawn, the house was silent. The next morning, I calmly sat at the kitchen table and showed my father the access logs. I showed him the timestamps of her middle-of-the-night spying and the trap I had set to prove it. My father didn't scream. He simply took her phone, factory reset it, and looked her in the eye. He told her the surveillance ended today. I finally felt the weight lift. Now, she is crying to the family that I humiliated her. But for the first time in years, my phone is actually mine.